The sixth and last day of the fifth special session of the 20th will now come to order. May we all stand for a moment of silent prayer. Chief Clerk, roll call.
Senator Alick, Senator Aritos, Senator Fikir, Senator Coland, Senator Floor Leader Harper, Senator Conman,
Yay.
Vice Speaker Moses, Senator Neth, Senator Panuelo, Senator Perman, Senator Romulo, Senator Ursmal, Senator Wally, Speaker Simina.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, 10 members are present.
We have quorum this morning to transact business. Next item is reading of the journal, acting floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I move that the reading of the journal be dispensed with.
It's moved and seconded that we dispense with the reading of the journal. Those in favor say yes, opposed no. Motion carried. We now dispense with the reading of the journal. Next item, Chief Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, item 5, presidential communications. We have one, it's number 20-287.
Sign that, Chief Clerk. Next item.
Item 6, FSM Supreme Court communications. None, Mr. Speaker.
Next item.
Item 7, member communications. None.
Continue.
Item 8, departmental communications. There are none, Mr. Speaker. Item 9, agency or governmental authority communications. None. Item 10, state communications. We in receipt of number 20-24.
Sign that, Chief Clerk. Next item.
Item 11, State Supreme Court communications. There are none, Mr. Speaker. Item 12, municipal or town communications. None. Item 13, foreign government communications. We in receipt of number 20-53.
Sign that, Chief Clerk. Order of the day. Item 14.
Item 14, standing committee reports. There are none, Mr. Speaker.
Continue.
Item 15, special committee reports. None. Item 16, assignment of measures and communications. We have a referral sheet 20-77.
Okay, take note, Chairman and members, of that referral sheet for your planning purposes. Next item.
Item 17, unfinished business. None. Item 18, bill calendar.
First bill.
Mr. Speaker, we have the first bill is CB number 20-159 for second reading.
Acting for.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I move that CB number 20-159 pass second and final reading.
Second. It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CP number 20-159. Discussion. Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. We're still in discussion of CB 20-159. Any discussion?
Sure.
Yes, acting floor.
Yeah, thank you, Speaker. Based on our discussion during the recess, while we are proceeding to extend lapse date of these public projects, I just wish to, for the record, to reflect that this Congress is concerned about the continuing lack of implementation or already appropriated funds for needed projects in the communities and in the islands and in our municipalities and in our states. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Ursumal, for the concern. That's all shared by members. Any further discussion? If none, if there's no objection, discussion is closed. So let's vote those by roll call of delegations. This is second reading. Chief Clerk.
State of Chuk, Chairman Aritos. State of Pohnpei, Chairman Panuelo. State of Kushai, Chairman Wali. State of Yap, Chairman Ursmal. Mr. Speaker, all the 4 states voted in favor.
CP number 20-159 has passed conference on second and final reading. Next bill.
Mr. Speaker, we have CB number 20-160 for second reading.
Motion. Acting floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that CB number 20-160 pass second and final reading.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CP number 20-160. Discussion? Any discussion? If none, there's no objection. Discussion is closed. So let's vote by roll call of delegations. Report.
State of Chuk, Chairman Aritos. State of Pohnpei, Chairman Panuelo. State of Kushai, Chairman Wali. State of Yap, Chairman Ursmal. Mr. Speaker, all the 4 states voted for the bill.
CP number 20-160 has passed Congress on second and final reading. Next bill.
Mr. Speaker, we have CP number 20-161 for second reading.
Acting floor. Acting floor.
So move for the passage of CB number 20-161 on second and final reading.
Moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CP number 20-161. Discussion? Any discussion? If none, there is no objection. Debate is closed. So let's vote by roll call of delegations. Chief Clerk.
State of Chuk, Chairman Aritos. State of Pohnpei, Chairman Panuelo. State of Kushai, Chairman Wali. State of Yap, Chairman Ursmal.
Aye.
Mr. Speaker, all the 4 states voted in favor.
CP number 20-161 has passed Congress on second and final reading. Next bill.
Mr. Speaker, the next bill is CB number 20-163 for second reading.
Speaker,
Acting floor.
I move for the passage of the bill on second and final reading.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CP number 20-163. Discussion? Any discussion? If none, there is no objection. Discussion is closed. So let's vote by roll call of delegations. Chief Clerk.
State of Chuk, Chairman Aritos. State of Pohnpei, Chairman Panuelo. State of Kushai, Chairman Wali. State of Yap, Chairman Ursmal. Mr. Speaker, all the 4 states voted for the bill.
CP number 20-163 has passed Congress on second and final reading. Next bill.
Mr. Speaker, we have CP number 20-166 for second reading.
Acting floor.
Speaker, I move that CB number 20-166 pass on second and final reading.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CP number 20-166. Discussion. Any discussion? If none, there's no objection. Debate is closed. So let's vote by roll call of delegations. Chief Clerk.
State of Chuk, Chairman Aritos. State of Pohnpei, Chairman Panuelo. State of Kushai, Chairman Wali. State of Yap, Chairman Ursmal. Yes, Mr. Speaker, all the 4 states voted in favor.
CP number 20-166 has passed Congress on second and final reading. Next bill.
Mr. Speaker, we have CB number 20-167 for second reading.
Speaker, I again move for passage of CB number 20-167 on second and final reading.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CP number 20-167. Discussion? Any discussion? If none, if there is no objection, debate is closed, so let's vote by roll call of delegations. Chief Clerk.
State of Chuk, Chairman Aritos. State of Pohnpei, Chairman Panuelo. State of Koshai, Chairman Wali. State of Yap, Chairman Ursmal. Yes, Mr. Speaker, all the 4 states voted in favor of the bill.
CP number 20-167 has passed Congress on second and final reading. Next bill.
Mr. Speaker, we have CB number 20-168 for second reading.
Take vote.
So move for the passage of CB number 20-168 on second and final reading.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass CP number 20-168 on second and final reading. Discussion. Any discussion? If none, there is no objection. Debate is closed. So let's vote by roll call of delegations. Chief Clerk.
State of Chuk, Chairman Aritos. State of Pohnpei, Chairman Panuelo. State of Koshai, Chairman Wali. State of Yap, Chairman Ursmal. Mr. Speaker, all the 4 states voted for.
CP number 20-168 has passed Congress on second and final reading. Next bill.
Mr. Speaker, we have CB number 20-169 for second reading.
Mr. Speaker, I move for the passage of the bill CB number 20-169 on second and final reading.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass CP number 20-169 on second and final reading. Discussion. Any discussion? If not, if there is no objection, discussion is closed. So let's vote by roll call of delegations. Chief Clerk.
State of Chuk, Chairman Aritos. State of Pohnpei, Chairman Panuelo. State of Koshai, Chairman Wali. State of Yap, Chairman Ursmal. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. All the 4 states voted for.
CP number 20-169 has passed Congress on second and final reading. Next bill.
Mr. Speaker, we have CB number 20-170 for second reading.
Acting for.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for the passage of CB number 20-170 on second and final reading.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CP number 20-170. Discussion. Any discussion? If none, there is no objection. Discussion is closed. So let's vote by roll call of delegations. Chief Clerk.
State of Chuk, Chairman Aritos. State of Pohnpei, Chairman Panuelo. State of Koshai, Chairman Wali. State of Yap, Chairman Ursmal. Mr. Speaker, all the 4 states voted for the bill.
Congress has passed CP number 20-170 on second and final reading. Next bill.
Mr. Speaker, we have CB number 20-171 for second reading.
Speaker, I can move for passage of CB number 20-171 on second and final reading.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CP number 20-171. Discussion. Any discussion? If none, there is no objection. Debate is closed. So let's vote by roll call of delegations. Chief Clerk.
State of Chuk, Chairman Aritos. State of Pohnpei, Chairman Panuelo. State of Koshai, Chairman Wali. State of Yap, Chairman Ursmal. Mr. Speaker, all the 4 states voted in favor.
Congress has passed CP number 20-171 on second and final reading. Next bill.
Mr. Speaker, we have CB number 20-172 for second reading.
Acting Clerk.
Move for the passage of the bill CB number 20-172 on second and final reading.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CP number 20-172. Discussion. Any discussion? If none, if there is no objection, debate is closed. So let's vote by roll call of delegations.
State of Chuk, Chairman Aritos. State of Pohnpei, Chairman Panuelo.
Aye.
State of Kushai, Chairman Wali. State of Yap, Chairman Orsmal. Mr. Speaker, all the four states voted in favor.
Okay, CP number 20-172 has passed conference on second and final reading. Next bill.
Mr. Speaker, we have CB number 20-173 for second reading.
Short recess, Mr. Speaker.
Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress back in session.
Speaker,
Yes, I think for.
I move for the passage of CB number 20-173 on second and final reading.
Second.
Moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CP number 20-173. Discussion. Any discussion? If none, there's no objection. Debate is closed. So let's vote by roll call of delegations. Chief Clerk.
State of Chu, Chairman Aritos. State of Pohnpei, Chairman Panuelo.
Aye.
State of Kushai, Chairman Wali. State of Yap, Chairman Orsmal. Mr. Speaker, all the four states voted in favor.
CP number 20-173 has passed Congress on second and final reading. Next bill.
Mr. Speaker, we have CB number 20-178 for second reading.
Speaker, I move for the passage of CB number 20-178 on second and final reading.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CP number 20-178. Discussion. Short recess. This is back in session. We're on discussion of CP 20-178. Do you have any discussion? If none, there's no objection. Discussion is closed, so let's vote by roll call of delegations. Chief Clerk.
State of Chu, Chairman Aritos. State of Pohnpei, Chairman Panuelo. State of Kushai, Chairman Wali. State of Yap, Chairman Orsmal. Yes, thank you. Mr. Speaker, all the four states voted for.
CP number 20-178 has passed Congress on second and final reading. Next bill.
Mr. Speaker, we have CB number 20-226 for second reading.
Acting
Speaker,
for.
I move that Congress pass on second and final reading CB number 20-226.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CP number 20-226. Discussion. Any discussion? Short recess. Session, we're on discussion of CP number 20-226. Any discussion? If none, there is no objection. Debate is closed. So let's vote by delegations. Chief Clerk.
State of Chuk, Chairman Aritos. State of Pohnpei, Chairman Panuelo.
Aye.
State of Kushai, Chairman Wali. State of Yap, Chairman Orsmal. Mr. Speaker, four states voted for.
CP number 20-226 has passed Congress on second and final reading. Next bill.
Mr. Speaker, we have CB number 20-227 for second reading.
Acting for.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for the passage of CB number 20-227 for second and final reading.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CP number 20-227. Discussion.
Speaker,
Senator Net.
thank you, Speaker. I have small floor amendment that has been distributed. I so move for its adoption.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that the offered amendment by Senator Net be adopted. Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. We have the offered oral amendment, floor amendment, which has been written up and distributed to all members. Chief Clerk, read it into the record. It's a short one.
Mr. Speaker, we have a floor amendment to CB number 20-227 offered by Senator Dion G. Nath. On page 4, line 24, delete the figure 15,000 and insert the figure 10,000 in lieu thereof. Item 2 of the amendment on page 5, line 19, delete the figure 10,000 and insert the figure 15,000 in lieu thereof.
Okay, there is that amendment. It's just a changing of the amounts from reducing one and increasing one in the same amount. Any discussion on the offered amendment? If none, acting floor, motion to suspend.
So move that the relevant rule be suspended.
It's moved and seconded that the relevant rules, specifically the rule prohibiting substantive amendments on final reading, second and final reading, be suspended. Those in favor of the motion say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. The relevant rules are now suspended. Any further discussion? If none, now let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of the offer for amendments to CB 20-227 offered by Senator Net, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. The amendments are adopted. Any further discussion on CT1? We now have CT1. If none, there is no objection. Debate is closed on CT1. So let's vote by roll call of delegations. Chief Clerk.
State of Duke, Chairman Aritos. State of Pohnpei, Chairman Panuelo.
Here, Mike.
State of Koshai, Chairman Wali. State of Yap, Chairman Rosmal. Mr. Speaker, all the 4 states, 4-4.
CP number 20-227 CT1 has passed Congress on second and final reading. Next bill.
The next bill, Mr. Speaker, is CB number 20-228 for second reading.
Thank for.
So move for the passage of the bill, CB number 20-228 for second and final reading.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CB number 20-228. Discussion.
Mr. Speaker.
Chairman Wally.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a floor amendment that I wish to offer to CP number 20-228.
Okay, proceed. Chairman Wally.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's in today's package. It's circulated to members already. And it's quite lengthy, so I will not ask Chief Clerk to read this, but rather move for its adoption.
And
So
second. It's moved and seconded that the offered amendments by Chairman Wally to CP number 20-28 be adopted. Short recess. Congress is back in session. There is that for amendment offered by Chairman Wally, which has been seconded. And before we proceed, I just want the record to reflect that the relevant rules are still suspended up to this point. So discussion on the offered amendments. Chairman Wally.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for its adoption.
It's moved and seconded that the offer for amendment to CB 20-228 by Chairman Wally, which has been distributed, written up and distributed to members, be adopted. Discussion?
Sorry,
Speaker,
Yes, proceed, Chairman Malik.
I wish to further amend the floor amendment that I made earlier orally.
Okay, proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On page 1, item number 5, after the letters AF in parentheses, insert the letters AG, Kosha High School Lunch Program, 10,000. Also, on item 6, third to the last paragraph, sentence, delete in parentheses the letters AF and insert the letters AG in lieu thereof. I so move for the said amendment.
It's moved and seconded that the offered oral amendments to the written for amendment to CP 20-228 be adopted. Discussion on the offered oral amendments? Are there
Short
any?
recess, Mr. Speaker.
Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. We're still on the discussion of the oral amendments. If there's no further discussion, let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of the oral amendments to the written amendment by Chairman Willie, say yes. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. The offered oral amendments are now adopted. We're still in discussion of the floor amendment as orally amended. Any further discussion? If none, there is no objection. Discussion is closed on the floor amendments, so let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of the offered floor amendments to CP number 20-228 as orally amended, say yes. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. The offered amendments by Chairman Willie are adopted. We now have CD1. Any further discussion on CD1? If none, there's no objection. Debate is closed, so let's vote by roll call of delegation.
State of Chuk, Chairman Artos. State of Pohnpei, Chairman Panuelo. State of Koshai, Chairman Wale. State of Yap, Chairman Rusmal. Mrs. Speaker, all the 4 states voted in favor.
CP number 20-228 CD1 has passed conference on second and final reading. Next bill.
There are none, Mr. Speaker.
Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress is back in session. Next item, Chief Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, item 19, resolution calendar. There's none.
Okay, there is none. Next item.
Item 20, introduction of bills and resolutions.
Okay, if you have any measure to introduce, please pass them on to Chief Clerk. Next item.
Item 21, miscellaneous communications. Mr. Speaker, we're in receipt of 2, and their numbers 20-24 and 20-25.
Okay, assign those, Chief Clerk. We're on miscellaneous business. Do you have any miscellaneous business?
Speaker.
Acting for.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to introduce for recognition some individuals who are observing this morning session. Let me first of all introduce 3 recent graduates of Xavier High School in Chuk. The 3 graduates are here helping with our IT with the backlog of bills and resolution from the first Congress to the 12th. May I introduce Mr. Vincent Samo, Lauren Robert Jr., and Ramsey Narun, and ask that we give them a collective round of applause. And I also recognize and wish for this Congress to acknowledge by applause the presence of Ms. Cheryl Percantine, who has been attending our session, especially this special session. And may I also make the motion in this in miscellaneous business that you, Speaker, and the Vice Speaker review and make any technical corrections, but not major changes to our journal from day one to today. I so move.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that the Speaker, the presiding officers, including any acting floor leader, be responsible for reviewing and correcting technical corrections to all of our paperwork, specifically the journals. Those in favor of the motion say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried, so be it. We join you, acting floor, in recognizing those young students who have graduated, and we wish them the best in their future plans. And I believe they will do the works that our IT and our PIO were not able to do for the past several years, updating our records. Okay? Chairman Panuelo, you have the floor.
Speaker, thank you. Speaker, before we close out or adjourn our special session, I wish to put on record you all knew I missed a few days of the last session and then a couple of days of this special session called by the President. And I wasn't paying attention, but I know this Congress passed a resolution, and I merely wish to, on behalf of our Panuelo family, state on record and express our appreciation for the resolution adopted by this Congress, expressing condolences, sympathies for the passing of my dad, or Dr. Alexander Panuelo, on the 28th of June, and for recognizing his many years of service and contribution to our state of Pohnpei and our nation as a medical practitioner, and also his contributions to the business community. When I represented our family, I had to say a few words at the service. My siblings wanted to say that he was a great father, a great surgeon, and a great fisherman. I think in the process of trying to find some information on my dad, Dr. Panuelo, we discovered a rare photo never seen by the family. And I was surprised. One of the workers of the labor at the Pohnpei State found a photo that he forwarded to one of my brothers, and he said it was stated on his record as March 7, 1951. And his photo, either he was 19, applying for a student permit to reside in Fiji as one of the first students heading there. And the photo was there, and it's in great condition. So I showed my mother, and you know what he told me? She said, you know, I had never seen this photo because we had not met yet at the time. So I think my father went to Fiji, and when he came back, that's when they met. So it's a jewel photo. But before we adjourn, I want to represent my mother, Albertina Wilpacker Panuelo, my siblings, and our extended Panuelo family in expressing our appreciation to this Congress Speaker, to you, to all the members, including your contributions, which I learned from Chief Clerk at a later date. Our extended Panuelo family is appreciative of the resolution adopted by this Congress. So I thank you all, and especially thank to the sponsor of the resolution, Vice Speaker Esmond Moses, for initiating the resolution for my dad. So, Speaker, I merely wish to put on record our family's appreciation. Thank you, Kalangan, to you all.
Thank you, Chairman Panuelo. Indeed, we were at loss when we heard about what happened, the passing of your dad. And we are a family. In Congress ourselves, we're a family together. Whenever it happened to you, it happened to Senator Net. I'm sure it will happen to all of us in our lifetime as members of Congress. But we will do what we can in assisting. So, any other miscellaneous business? I just want to take this opportunity to also thank all of you, the members who've been able to attend our session. It's a short one, but I would say that it's also a productive one. So thank you very much for your participation, for your support, cooperation in ensuring that this session works out well. I know the President was not too happy with the things we did for his call, but we explained to him what's needed, and I told him that some of the matters we are still waiting for some of the conditions that we feel are needed to ensure that we can move forward on some of these proposals or requests. And I also would like to thank our staff, hardworking staff, for all the hard works that they've put in. And look, for, as you know, we've delayed our session 1 week because of our need to finish up all our budget reports, standing committee reports. And I would again urge all the committees to finish up your budget reports so before the session, so that we just come in and finish up the budget before the end of the fiscal year. I don't see much of any problem. I think our budget revenue forecast is okay, unless something comes up that we are not anticipating at this point. But so far, I think we can still work within the budget request and the budget consideration by each respective committee. So, having said that, any other business? If none, the next item is announcement. Chairman Muli.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your EXAF committee will do its markup this afternoon after session in the hearing room. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chairman Muli. It looks like you're concluding your works on the budget, so thank you for that. And members of EXAF committee, take note of the markups meeting. Vice Chairman Net.
None, Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chairman. Chairman Nalik. Thank you, Chairman Burman.
Small announcement, food will be provided, but I still don't have a volunteer who's going to be paying for it, but already been ordered.
That's obligating the committee before the availability of funding. Okay. Vice Chairman Ritos. Your Chairman Panuelo.
Speaker, to cover Chairman Perman so we don't go into illegal commitment, R&D committee will volunteer to cover today's lunch.
I guess that's
And Speaker, just to let you know that your committee on R&D today did its budget hearing with Norma. So hopefully that's going to expedite when we come back in the next session to our committee reports and expedite it so that we can do it early part of the regular session in September. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Chairman Panuelo, for the progress. Okay, Vice Chairman Coleman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have no announcement.
Thank you, Vice Speaker. You have any announcement? None. Chairman Ursimo, do you have any announcement before acting floor?
Yeah, Speaker, I just wish to take this opportunity to announce my regret and apology to all of you who had anticipated a good lunch yesterday. Unfortunately, the request fell through and we didn't get it. Your Committee on Education has already advanced its work, including adoption by this Congress of the resolution on the special education grant. I should have asked that grant be thrown out because my little boy still cannot speak and he's 5 years old and they have not provided help. But anyway, no announcement from your committee, so I move that this
Okay, acting floor leader.
Congress then adjourn Senator.
Second.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that Congress adjourn Sanadai. Those in favor of the motion, say yes. Opposed, nay. May we all rise? The fifth special session of the 20th Congress is now adjourned sine die.